first, I've got my book, Valour by John Gwynne, the second book in the Faithful and the Fallen. If you are new here, welcome. I am doing a buddy read of the Faithful and the Fallen on my Discord, and I'm so glad that I'm rereading this with some friends and bookish friends. I love it. This is like one of my favorite authors, my favorite series. Got my strong cup of coffee. I'm going to get a few chapters in, hopefully, before my husband and I might have to take a ride somewhere. But yeah, that's how I'm starting off my Tuesday morning, sliding into July. Quite happy. It is July 2nd, and it feels like it's been more than a couple days since I've, posted something. But it hasn't. It's only been like a day. But I think probably because yesterday was filled with a few things. So I worked on my piles in this room. Obviously there's nothing at the end right now because I've been working on that. I'm making progress. I'm feeling good about it. I'm staying hydrated, and I'm reading, and I'm also watching things. A couple nights ago, my husband wanted to watch something, so he chose Madam Web. I did try to sway him not to, but we watched it. Well, for the most part, we watched it together. But about 75% of the way through, he decided that he'd had enough. He actually stood up, said, "I've had enough. I'm done. You can stop at any time you would like. I'm just done." And he left the room. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So 30 minutes was left, so I watched that for the most part by myself until about probably the last 10 minutes. He came down and he watched the very end of it. The credits started to roll, and as soon as the credits started to roll, he looked at me and said, "Well, that sucked." And I said, "I tried to warn you." And he said, "Honey, you were right." And you know what? Those are music to a wife's ears. They really are sometimes. So, that being said, my books were much more enjoyable. I got about 2 chapters of Valour read yesterday, and only 2 because I stopped. I wanted to process what I just read. So, first chapter, we meet Uthis. I cannot wait to read more chapters with the Giants. I can't wait. And I know that there's something that's about to go down, so that's pretty cool. And then we go back to the keep. Someone is walking through, and the way that Gwynne depicts battle scenes and then the aftermath of battle is, I think he does really well with that. But they're looking for faces that they know and praying that they do not find the faces that they know, because all the faces they're looking at are like dead faces. So that was pretty good, and I did have some feels in this because somebody runs across a loved one. So that being said, I can't wait to jump back into it. After I had a visit from a friend, and their sister was visiting from out of state that I hadn't seen like 20 years. Felt good to catch up. I read 1 chapter of Gone with the Wind. I decided to start Gone with the Wind while I was doing some more tidying up. The only gripe that I have is with finding an audio. I found one audio, sounded very suspiciously like AI, and I don't like that. So then I found another audio, and I like it. I'm enjoying it. The only gripe I have, and it's a tiny one, is that they keep bleeping out stuff. They keep bleeping out stuff, and when it's just like a word, it's derogatory, and it's just still. I am one of those people that doesn't think that even the darkest parts of history should be erased in any way, shape, or form. So when I am reading a historical era book such as this, or even something that takes place in World War II, I expect to read, and if I'm listening to audio, even hear those words. I don't think that they should be erased. I mean, I don't speak them myself, but I don't expect to not see them at all. And yeah, it's the only thing that I don't really care. It takes me out a little bit when I hear a beep, but it is what it is. I'd rather hear silence instead. If if they feel they really have to delete something. But I don't think history should be deleted, even the darkest parts, because we're just, you know, doomed to repeat it if we do that. So, yeah, don't delete history. It's just my thing. So other than that, I don't have anything else to talk about right now. I'm gonna go back to my cleaning project, which I am definitely making headway with, and I'm gonna find something to eat for lunch, and I'm just gonna chill out for the rest of the day. And I don't know which book I'm gonna start next, or if I'm gonna start the next Lady Harley. We shall see. It is July 3rd. I'm stopping at the end of chapter 5 of Gone with Wind. So far, we've got a lot of backstory of her father and her mother, and now we're all caught up. They're headed to a big old dinner barbecue thing, and I'll continue more of this later. I thought maybe I wouldn't finish this before the end of July, but I think I might be wrong. I might actually get this finished before the end of July, so we shall see more later. Happy 4th of July. I don't think my husband and I have any plans unless we decide to go and just sit at a top of a hill and see fireworks in the distance, or if somebody pulls in the driveway and asks me to go see fireworks. Basically just gonna kind of stick at home, and we're going to have pizza and maybe watch something later. I have no idea what that's going to be. But I am finally at chapter 15, at the end of chapter 15. I'm going to stop there in Valour, because if I keep going, the wait between this and Ruin is going to be way too painful for me. I have already voiced that. We have 3 more POVs. Well, somebody had to take somebody's place from the last one. So I'm not mad about it, because they're people that actually were like off to the side a little bit in the other book. So that's kind of cool. We're getting to know what was going on inside their heads, of what's kind of happening and what they are seeing. And they are going to play pivotal roles going forward, for sure. I really despise Lycos so much. I loathe him. I loathe him, and I love to loathe him. I've made that very abundantly clear in the Discord chat. I loathe Lycos. Loathe him. More than Nether. That's saying something. I think that there are some different villainous kinds of people, and they've got motives, and usually pretty selfish. It's usually the way it is for villains. Pretty selfish. Now, I am headed to the store because I'm going to pick up some pizza for this evening, and maybe talk to the husband about what we're going to watch more later. It is July 5th, and I woke up this morning and jumped right into Gone with the Wind. I am finally at chapter 13. I'm going to read, I think, a couple more chapters in this, probably later this evening. I'm enjoying it so much, and there's some dialogue in here and some letters from Rhett. There's dialogue of Rhett, that's inner dialogue, and then there's some letters from Ashby, which are describing like their doubts about the war, their reason for actually being at war, questions, that kind of thing. And I find that really fascinating. So yeah, that's not something that you get out of the movie. So that being said, I have 2 other books that I have been reading today. So I decided that I would pick up a Newlywed's Guide to Fortune and Murder, and that is book 6 of the Countess of Harley mysteries. I am enjoying it so much. I'm going to kind of slow it down just a little. I think I will probably finish it tomorrow. They go really quick, these books. The next thing that I picked up today was I started Foudryside with Noria on her Patreon, and I was actually late. I lost track of time, but I am enjoying the book now more than I did the first couple of chapters. I think I was just kind of sleepy, and I caught myself nodding off, which is bad, because I need to take better care of myself. I should have turned the AC on while I was listening to the book. I just got hot, so I had to backtrack my reading a little bit. Also, the book that I had chosen on Scribd ended up being unavailable, and it was just a sample that was available, which I didn't realize. So I had to go and find a copy of Foudryside, and I did find an audiobook. So I feel pretty confident. This is very doable. And yeah, I'm going to get back to a little bit more of Lady Harley and other things. So more later. It is July 6th, and I'm headed out to some grocery shopping. But I wanted to chat with you a little bit about something that I did that was just a little bit more fun. I surprised my heavy metal husband, the Destroyer of Silence, with an early anniversary gift. He's been talking about this iconic Black Sabbath concert for several days now. So I was like, you know what? I know what I have to do. And aside from just being there, the best thing I could do was get one of those video on demand tickets for the live stream. And so I surprised him with that. To say that I made his century is just not enough. It's just not enough. So many bands and heavy metal artists and musicians were inspired by Sabbath growing up, and my husband is one of them, and it was worth every penny. Metal forever. I'm back from shopping. I'm all unpacked. I'm just getting hydrated before I take off again. I gotta put my shoes back on. It was dumb of me to take my shoes off, but I just wanted to relax. And sometimes taking my shoes off and walking around in nothing but my stockings is nice. Anyways, I'm gonna go and see my family. And by the way, I did not listen to a single piece of audiobook while I was gone. I chose to listen to Lady Lovestead read videos that I had not watched yet. I thought I'd watched one, but I hadn't. I think I started it, but forgot to go back. So I did that, and I sent her some comments after I was done. And yes, Jess, you kept me company while I was grocery shopping. It's either you or Brandy at BrandyReads. You both keep me company when I'm grocery shopping, and it keeps me calm when I'm driving. And I do not like those things. I do not like to drive, and I do not like to grocery shop. So I'm out of here. And later I'm going to come back. I think I'm going to start reading one of my other books again. So maybe the Countess of Harley. Maybe I'll finish that one today. Maybe. Hello, it is the 7th of July, and I have just been hanging out down here in the bedroom. Can't really see it, but there you go. I've been doing the whole color by number. Got my little stylus pen, doing my thing. Just chilling out and staying cool because it's been really, really hot. I just finished my 6th Countess of Harley mystery, and I really liked it. I'm going to give it 4 blossoms. It kept me guessing even towards the end. I mean, I narrowed down my suspects, but still kept me guessing until almost to the end. I was like, wait, this is way too obvious. And then they let that little itty bitty twist. It's not a big twist. It's just there. They're super easy to read. Super light. I like some of the humor, some of the dialogue between Frances and her family members and her husband. She and George still have not had their honeymoon. I don't know if they're ever going to get one, but they seem to be having a lot of fun solving mysteries together. So that's their thing. That's their love language. I don't know what I'm going to read next. My books are down at the other end of the house. It is the 9th of July. Yesterday was a busy afternoon. I tired myself out. Mostly, I think I put my body through a little bit too much. But that's okay. My husband needed to go to a chiropractic appointment. He got all snapped into shape, wanted to go someplace where he could walk around a bit. So he said, Antiques Mall? Okay. So we went to the Antiques Mall. I've never been to the Antiques Mall. He says, you're going to love it. There's books. Okay. So we went. The thing is it's like a big, large barn. It's no longer for animals. It's for like antiques. There's stalls, but it's lots, basically. Lots and lots of lots where people have old antiques that they're selling. Fishing poles, which is why we were there for my husband. And, of course, old books. So I began to peruse. As it is an old barn, it's not like a new place that's like fully air conditioned. Yesterday was super hot. That heat and humidity, mostly the humidity, I think kind of hung around in some of the spaces. And I kind of exposed myself to about an hour and 45 minutes of that. That being said, I decided that when I got home, I would read a little bit because I was inspired by one of the books that I found there. I didn't buy it. I'm kicking myself. I should have just bought it. It was the sequel to Gone with the Wind. So I found a hardback of Scarlet and I didn't get it. I should have just got it. It was $5. I should have just got it. We're going to go back just to get the book and then go back to wherever we haven't explored. It's huge. It's a huge place. We barely touched the surface, my husband said. He said we've like only gotten like a quarter of the way through, not even half. We got to come back. You need to see what else is here. I'm like, okay. Beautiful wood benches, just antique chests. It was just some beautiful items, I'm telling you. But yeah, I came home inspired after seeing Scarlet and decided that I would read a little bit more of Gone with the Wind before bed. I got to the end of chapter 15. I have chapter 16 and then I will start part 3, I think, either later tonight or tomorrow. But I'm going to take a break from Gone with the Wind for a little bit. Then, after I finish that, I want to jump back into Valour because it's funny. I'm actually at the end of chapter 15 in Valour, so I'll be starting chapter 16. Is it like a sign of something? Am I missing something? I don't know. Maybe I should have gotten Scarlet. Maybe that was the sign. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm going to jump into my book now that I am caught up with my stories. And of course, I've been crying because certain storylines just hit a certain way. I'm watching Bold and Beautiful. I'm watching Young and the Restless. Young and the Restless didn't really do it so much. But definitely B&B. Bold and Beautiful. After I said I was going to probably stop watching for a while, and now I've decided I've changed my mind. I've just changed my mind. So I'm going to jump back into Gone with the Wind and read that last chapter in part 2. Give it a rest and jump into Valour. Or maybe Foudryside. No, Valour. Foudryside? I'll save Foudryside for a couple of days from now. Maybe it's the author's choice of narrator for Foudryside that's bugging me. I think that's what it is. I don't like it. It is July 12th. Yesterday was my mom's birthday. Spent a little time with her yesterday and the family. Today, though, I woke up and I just started reading Gone with the Wind. And I'm about halfway through. I am going to stop at chapter 31. I'll pick that up again tomorrow. I'm now at part 4 of this story and I'm enjoying it so much. And then I took a pause from that to jump onto Noria's Patreon buddy read to read some more of Foudryside, which was my pick because it's my birthday month. And Noria lets a lot of us that have birthdays in each month pick something. So I'm enjoying it more than I was when I first started it. I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to be as into it as I was hoping, but it is getting better and I'm enjoying it and I'm more curious and I have theories and I have thoughts and I want to see if I'm right. So that's fun. But I'm going to take a book break for a couple of hours. I'm going to hang out with a friend of mine on the phone and we're going to simultaneously set our devices to watch the Black Dagger Brotherhood episodes from last week and this week that dropped. So we're going to spend a little bit of time together doing that. And then I will join my husband, I think, later for a movie. So yeah, so that's it. Got some adaptation stuff I think that we're just going to watch tonight. And I don't know what I'm going to pick with the husband. We shall see. Hopefully something better than the last 2 that he chose. Just saying. Good morning. It is the next day. It's the 13th. I have plans for today, but before I get to those, Last night, my friend Nina and I watched the last 2 episodes of season 1, Black Dagger Brotherhood, and we were not disappointed. Those pivotal scenes that we love from the books, we got to see. We actually talked about like our overall feelings about the entire season. It was enough that we want to go back and re-watch the whole season. It's only 6 episodes, but they were so good. And all of those pivotal key moments that we love from the books, we got to see. And those are why I am going to rate this a 5 out of 5 popcorns. Our characters were depicted the way that we felt that we remembered them from the books. Those pivotal scenes that we were excited to see, we got to see. So they made sure that they kept those in the production of this adaptation. I am so happy with Tosca Musk's production, and I'm so happy that J.R. Ward got to be a part of watching some of this stuff happening, and her back scenes that she has been sharing with other people are sometimes really funny. I love this author so much and this series so much, and I am so excited to see an adaptation brought to life. And I'm looking forward to next year's season 2. That's the part that we're a little sad about, the fact that we have to wait a whole year, but it's worth it. It's worth the wait, I feel. And it's worth the watch if you are someone who loves the Black Dagger Brotherhood and somebody who enjoys watching adaptations. I think that this is worth $5 or $6 to pick up a subscription to watch some romance brought to life on the screen. Anyways, that being said, books that I'm going to be focusing on today, one book in particular, I'm going to focus on Of Empires and Dust. I would like to read at least 200 to 300 pages today before I go to bed. I'm going to fully focus on this world now that I have some other things out of the way. At least that is my hope. I've had a hard time focusing on just reading physically, and since I don't have an audio, that might be a little bit of a challenge for me. I just have a lot going on in my head, some family stuff that I don't want to get into here, just some concerns that I have and things like that. But in order to focus, I have been reading a lot of audiobooks and physically reading at the same time, because that helps me stay immersed in the worlds that I am reading. I am going to take off and go visit some family for a little bit, and then I'm going to come home and I'm going to probably sit down with Cahill. That's my hope. I have some things I need to prep before I leave. I want to marinate my chicken in my orange sauce that I found. It's like sugar-free, and there's barely any points to that at all, and that makes me so happy. Who says that eating healthy has to be tasteless? I don't think so. I think that there are ways of making us feel like we're getting what we want from our meal. And yes, Miss Amy just rhymed. I am now going to just finish the rest of my day out, get my feet dressed, marinate my chicken, and then pop up to my parents and visit with my family. So that's what I'm going to do. More later. Good morning. It is July 16th. So a couple days ago I was in a mood, and I just kind of stayed to myself and put on an audiobook. So I read my buzzword cover choice, and that was Network Effect. Listened to the whole thing. Just spent the whole day zoning out to that. I'm going to give it 4 blossoms. Murderbot's probably one of my favorite non-human fictional characters. So I look forward to reading book 6, but I have other things that I'm focused on now that my buzzword books are all taken care of. So yesterday I spent a good part of the day reading Gone with the Wind, and now I'm going to probably read some more of that. Let's see, what else? Oh, heard from the osteopathic surgeon. They automatically put me in for an appointment on the very first day of school with our new littles, and I'm like, that can't happen. So we've rescheduled it. We're now into September for scheduling. So on September 22nd, I see him. Apparently it's not all that urgent, so I'm not going to be any more annoyed or anxietied about seeing the orthopathic surgeon. So if he doesn't think it's like paramount that I see him right away, then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to have my PT in a few days, my first PT appointment in a very long time, and get that out of the way. Also went and got my hair done yesterday. Decided I wanted a beachy vibe, so husband said, please don't come on blonde. Well, not totally. Anyways. Good morning. It is the 18th of July, and I am headed out to go pick up my friend Missy. I'm just waiting for my pen to be room temperature so I can take my medicine. I forgot 2 days ago to do that, but that's normal when there's a lot of stuff going on. I finished Gone with the Wind last night. 4.5 blossoms. Yep. Scarlet is very flawed, and I'm really kicking myself for not having the Scarlet sequel. I need to pick that up the next time I see it. Maybe I'll find it today at the public book sale, so I'll be looking for it today. And if I don't, I'm definitely going back to the Antiques Mall, and I'm going to buy that book, because I would like to have a final ending, I think, a finale that makes sense, because in this it kind of ends with them having a conversation and her being like, I ain't giving up kind of thing. So I need the sequel. I do. Oh, what else is going on? Nothing. That's it. I'm just going to go do that today. Maybe do some shopping. So that's all I have for now. More later. I'm back. All right. So I'll share with you what I got at the library. I got a quilting book. I won't show you in case somebody sees it. But that is a gift I think I'm going to give to my sister. It's a brand new book. It's beautiful. But it's got quilting designs I think she might appreciate. Then I found a Game of Thrones coloring book. Brand new. I found that at the library sale. And there was a free book. So I grabbed a free book from the free book section. I was not going to do this. This is not a planned thing. This is not someone that I was like, I want to read this author like right away. I don't. But it's on my radar, and I figured free book. Why not? I grabbed The Name of the Wind. I know. But I feel I am more likely to get the final book in this than I am from Mr. Martin. So I got this. I got this one for free, and the other two I gave a donation for. And then my friend and I, we were still wanting to look for books, so she's like, why don't we go to the Goodwill? It's right around the corner. So we did. And I'm kicking myself because I didn't bring a list with me. There were a couple books of Sheldon, and I'm not sure if I have them or not, so I need to look through my collection. If they are missing, then I will probably be going back to the Goodwill to grab the two that I saw. But I ended up grabbing this for $4. It is the poetry of Robert Frost. So I grabbed that, and so I'm going to add this to my very small poetry collection in my office. And I'm happy with what I found. It wasn't a big haul, and I don't need a big haul to be satisfied. We found a Mexican restaurant. We were looking for a restaurant that I went to on my 50th birthday, but they changed locations. We didn't know that. So when I got there, I was like, wait, it's the same restaurant, it's just a new location. This is a good note to close out the first half of July. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope, however you are spending your July, that the festivities of the 4th are fun if you were in the States, and if you were not in the States, like a certain best friend of mine, I hope you enjoyed your trip to Canada, honey, and the lack of fireworks with your dogs. Yeah, that's it. I got no more. I'm gonna go hydrate the week.